It's going live. I don't know yet. Setting it up. It's. Is someone going? Are we live? Someone go on LinkedIn. See if we're live.
It is meeting streaming on custom live streaming service.
Boom. Okay.
Party
Welcome.
on.
All right. Let's start with make some noise. Make some noise. Woo! Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
All right. So welcome to. And maybe I'll go to a speaker view here so that I can so people can see me. Well, I'm gonna pin myself here. Let's see. Hey everybody, welcome to the LinkedIn live stream for the launch of the Thought Leadership Branding Club. My name is Bobby Umar. I am your host, as well as the lead founder of the Thought Leadership Branding Club. And I'm excited to actually share with you this incredible community of amazing leaders and speakers. It's just been an amazing ride. I think I'll start with actually sharing a video, kind of like a little launch video, and let's see if you like it. So I'm gonna share my screen for a second and we'll see how that goes. And if I can find the video, here we go. I want you to share this, okay? So you guys can all see this? You see this right now? Okay, here we go with the video.
Hey,
it's got a bit of a Seinfeld field, eh? Coaching, collaborative community, monetization, internal resources. Samana is amazing with these videos. Okay, I heard people saying that no one could hear the video. Is that right? Oh dear, sorry about that. Okay, well, that's okay. That's okay. I'm not sure. Hopefully, can someone confirm that they can hear us on the live stream as we're talking and stuff? I think that's important. Okay, thumbs up there. Okay, we have a lot of amazing people here. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited to have all these awesome folks. So I think I don't have a specific agenda, but what I really want to do is I want to talk about why the Thought Leadership Club started and kind of how it all came about. But then I also want to introduce everybody that's here to showcase who they are, what their expertise are, and what they're actually doing with the Thought Leadership Branding Club. And maybe talk a bit about why Clubhouse really rocks. But I mean, I'll share my initials, and maybe each of you have a story or something you want to share about insights, something you've learned, some sort of benefit. I think that's kind of a way to go. So I will start, and I think I like the group setting versus the speaker view. What do you think? Should I do speaker view or should I do like just gallery view? What do you guys think?
Gallery's good.
Yeah, I think gallery's fine. No, gallery's fine. Like I'm talking. So let me start with the beginning. So in the beginning, I joined Clubhouse on Christmas Eve. We were home. We couldn't go to my mother-in-law's house on the West Coast, and it was kind of boring. It's kind of boring, just our family at home in lockdown. And 3 or 4 people who I trust had said Clubhouse is interesting. I said, well, once I have 3 people, I'm like, fine, I'll try it out. And I'm a social media guy, so I've tried every platform. And so I went in, and first one was kind of weird. I just listened for a little bit. And then after about 3 or 4 days, I decided to try my own rooms, and I tried to get people's attention. And the first room that actually got people's attention and people showed up was we talked about Ron and Hermione and why I thought Hermione should break up with Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. And we had a great discussion for like 30 minutes on why Ron sucks and why Hermione's awesome. But that was just me talking about that. And I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. And then I started I did a room on on personal branding and did another room on TED Talks, and and the conversation were really good. And by the time I was there for about maybe 7 days, I was like, this is a good place to invest time and energy. I'd been to a bunch of rooms. I saw what it was like. And I decided to put together a room of LinkedIn people. So I reached out to all the LinkedIn folks I know. So Michael David Chapman, Leah Turner, Andy Flynn. I met a couple of them too on the platforms. We were talking about LinkedIn. And so let's start a LinkedIn mastery session. And we started it, I think, on December 30th of the last year. And just started going every day, and for 2 hours a day, just kept doing it every day. It was really an hour, and then we kept going, and I was like, this is really great. And then I just started, taking on all the Clubhouse learnings and reaching out to other people, getting lots of followers. And then when the clubs rolled out, having been on Facebook and LinkedIn, I knew that clubs will either be ones that people will spend time on, or they're going to fall apart, dissipate into oblivion. And so I was like, do I want to invest in that one club? So I said, what's the one club that can fit everything that I typically talk about, right? Storytelling, personal branding, leadership development, communications, all that kind of stuff. I thought leadership branding is actually pretty good. So let's do that. And LinkedIn Match was the first one. And then really what I started doing was I was really good with the reaching out to people and say, hey, listen, you want to host a room, you want to collaborate, let's do a room together. And I just did a whole bunch of rooms. I was neglecting my family. My son called me out and he said, Daddy, we had a family meeting. He said, Daddy, we need an emergency family meeting. You were never around. What's going on? And so I had to establish ground rules for what it meant when my headphones were in, and I would try to do it during like dishes. So I became famous for during LinkedIn Mastery doing the dishes. And so that's pretty much what I would always do. We don't have a dishwasher, so I do a heck of a lot of dishes, particularly during the pandemic. And it just started to grow, and some people started doing rooms. Heather's came in pretty quickly, then Dan came in, and then pretty soon, and then Julianne, of course, was there from the very beginning with LinkedIn Mastery, and then a couple people joined the team, and I just kind of laid out what I thought the vision could be, and we can build this up, and then a lot of people joined up later on, and I think it was Kedma and Lynn also, and Leanne and Ilya were like, okay, how do we turn this into like something bigger? And so that's when I started, okay, let me put together a plan, a vision, here's what we're going to do. And then it just started to slowly take off. We had 1,000 followers, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. And I was like, wow, okay, this is something that's going pretty well. And one of the things that I've learned along the way is that it's all about the people, finding the right people that, and in two ways. One is finding people one of the things that's great about people is finding people who align with your values, align with who you are. They understand the vision. They're very collaborative, communicative, and things like that. We all have, and the ones who aren't like that, they came and they left. A perfect example of this, and not to toot my own horn here, but there was a couple of divas, and they came and they left. And not that I'm not a diva, I have a little bit of, like a little bit of divaness in me, but not to the point exactly, but not to the point where, I'm a standalone person. I'm the man. Like that's not what it's about. Like it's about us. And so I think that's a big piece. And the other part of the people thing that's important is we started to create a culture. We started to create a culture of support, which I didn't really do specifically. I mean, maybe I did because I would go to support people's rooms and I would visit people's rooms. But now what happens is I see Rachel, Daniela, Sumana, Pat, Bob going to other people's rooms and supporting them. And that is awesome. That's an awesome thing. Now, I'm not even watching what's happening on LinkedIn. If there are LinkedIn people commenting, and if you have a comment, you want to share something or ask a question, please do. I'm actually not even looking at that. I probably should. If someone wants to guide me on any sort of questions people have, that would be good.
I got you covered. I'm following for you.
Okay, great. So if people have questions or things they want to talk about, that's great. So for me, that's why I love Clubhouse. That's why I love the Thought Leadership Brand Club. It's about great people, great ideas, and we're really helping a lot of people do it. And so we're doing this live stream because we want you to join the club. But more importantly, we launched a website called thoughtleadershipbrand.club. And we want you to do two things. Number one, if you want to host your own room, share your own expertise, we invite you to join the club and become a lead moderator. lot of benefits for doing that. Number one, the brand cachet. Number two, you automatically notify the 14,000 people in your room that you've booked a room and you're opening a room. You get to collaborate with this group of about 60. There's 60 of us in the smaller group of lead moderators where we have a WhatsApp group. We support each other with resources. We give you resources, guides, all these different things to help you be part of what we're trying to do. We have a weekly coaching call where I answer any and all questions that you might have. And all of these are reasons to join the club. And then, of course, we teach you how to monetize and grow your business and brand on Clubhouse. And I've created a whole kind of system where I use LinkedIn, Instagram, and Clubhouse as a central feature to monetize the work that I'm doing with my programs, my coaching, and my courses and all that. So yeah, that's what this is about. We're trying to encourage you to join this. And what I want to do is I want to feature all these amazing people here and have them talk a bit about their experience and what they've been learning, and also share a bit about who they are and their expertise. So I think that's where I want to go next.
Woohoo!
All right. So we'll go in order of who showed up first. Is that right? No, we'll just go in random order. But anybody wants to share, and if there's any questions that pop up, Lynn, was it Lynn that told me you're going to tell me? I think that was, who said you were going to tell me? Who's going to tell me this question? Pat's going to tell me. Okay. So
can we do a quick shout out? We've got people already watching and commenting. We've got Eric, we've got Ilya. Lynn said, woohoo, we've got Pat. Oh, that's me. Daniela, welcome. We've got Lewis, we've got Karen. She's a big fan of TLB, loves the tips. There's Kenneth watching. We've got a nice audience growing. So go ahead and invite your friends, everybody. The more the merrier. That's what TLB is all about and what it's been about. And just keep the party going. So go ahead, Bobby, all to you.
I love it. That's great. Thanks so much, Pat. Okay, so and with no order, and I know people are asking me to fix my lighting, but I'm too busy now. So and this is what you get. So let's start out with Kenneth, because Kenneth was here first. Kenneth, why don't you go ahead first and share a bit of your story, your journey.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks everyone. It's great to see some familiar faces and actually get to be part of this. Everyone that knows me knows I'm an introvert, and so this was really hard for me to do in the very beginning. But the more I got involved, the more I loved it. I loved meeting all the great people here. Rachel and I, we do the room for automation. And that's going to be tomorrow at 12:30. And I just started launching a LinkedIn for Introverts room Fridays at 3 o'clock. So feel free to come to a very safe place. If I can do it, anyone can. And I have to thank everyone here for their great support. And I look forward to the future.
That's awesome, Kenneth. Why don't you tell us what you're really... Kenneth.
I'm on there. I'm so excited. I accidentally clicked my picture off.
Yeah, no, but tell us also, tell us a bit about your business. I mean, one of the things for me too is I want to support all of you in your work too. Sure. So definitely talk about your work, because if you see these people on Clubhouse, go hire them, go book them, man.
Of course. Yeah, well, one of the things, I mean, I do LinkedIn training for small business owners and for those in transition, but a couple of us have just launched a networking website, which is going to be a one-stop location for networking events and for speakers, both remote and Zoom. So we're very excited about that. And it's actually launching tomorrow. So this is why the timing was great, because everyone wants to go to networking events. Everyone wants to search. Everyone doesn't know where to find it. So we've tried to do a compilation of as many as we can and put it in one place. And then people can post events. People can actually find speakers there. So we're going to be that one-stop shop at mynetworkingcentral.com. And I have to thank you, Bob, and everyone else for kind of helping me along the journey. Because I was in corporate for many years and I decided to retire and give something like this a shot. And it's been challenging, it's ups and downs, but I would never look back and never go back into the rat race again.
That's awesome. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it.
Hey.
Yay. All right. That's all I can do. Awesome. Let's keep going. I want to hear from, let's hear from one of our newest members, Liz Leva, because I'm just so happy that you're here. So Liz, welcome, Liz, everybody. She's one of our newest members. Liz, please, why don't you share a bit about your experience?
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to speak. This has actually been a very overwhelming year for me, I would say. Yeah. I really had not been active on LinkedIn at all up until maybe a year ago. I started January 2020. And just said, new year, new me. And right then COVID happened. George Floyd was murdered. It was just like a lot of things just happened all at the same time. And I've been an educator for about 20 years in higher ed, both in administrative side as well as faculty. And I just said, I can't tell my students to be advocates and be in the community and speak up and not speak up myself. So I just started speaking up very vociferously about police brutality, social justice, equity, awareness, women's rights, LGBTQ, any AAPI, any marginalized community. I just started being super vocal because I felt like it was my responsibility to do so and to be very outspoken about it and try to destigmatize the idea that we have to separate social justice issues from the workplace. And a lot of people just started paying attention. I was afraid. I told my husband, you might want to take a couple extra shifts, because if this means jeopardizing my job, or if this means that people will shun me, I'm willing to take that risk, because I really feel like it's my responsibility as an educator to do that. And it has actually paid off. I went from about 7,000 followers on LinkedIn to almost 80,000 followers now. I'm getting like 2,000 followers a week. And I was interviewed by New York Times. It was a Black LinkedIn is Thriving article last year about people using LinkedIn more as a place, as a space to advocate for social justice. And I was featured in that article, featured in Forbes in the past year, had a CNN op-ed piece that went viral, had like 2 million hits on their website about how I was arrested. And I was actually racially profiled when I was 19. I'd never shared that story before, but I just started to think about ways that I needed to be talking about my story, even if it was things that I never talked about. I never talked about my sexual identity before. I mean, I talked about it with people that needed to know, like my husband knows, obviously. People like, oh, you came out. What does your husband think? And I'm like, my husband knew from our second date. Like, I just had always been very personal about certain things. I just started to really be vocal and active. And with Clubhouse, I was on Clubhouse from like January of this year. And I actually decided I didn't want to like go on Clubhouse anymore. I'm just like, I'm a little bit maybe similar to Kenneth. And I'm actually an introvert, and I am able to write. And that's why I think I've been able to thrive on LinkedIn, but I don't necessarily like to speak. Even though I'm a college professor, I think there's a little bit of a different dynamic. And on Clubhouse, I always felt super intimidated. And I think I shared with Bobby, I never really modded rooms. I actually had decided not to go back on there. And I went into one of Bobby's rooms and I was like, this is so cool. Everyone is so supportive. Everyone is uplifting. Everyone is amplifying. And that's why I'm happy that I actually had taken a break from Clubhouse and just decided to jump back in one day and saw one of Bobby's rooms. And I had been following the thought leadership brand ever since, and LinkedIn Mastery, and just hopping into rooms and just listening. And then Bobby said, come up on stage, let's talk and share your wisdom. And I was like, me? Because I'm always like very like shy. People don't believe that, I think, but I am actually pretty not very outspoken at all, usually, unless I'm writing stuff. So I thank you for the opportunity. In terms of my business, I have started Black History Culture Academy in January, and I have a couple hundred students that are enrolled in that, subscribed to that program for Black History. It's a micro-learning platform with Black History classes, about 50 classes. And I just started Black Women Handle Business, which is a women's directory for Black women entrepreneurs and professionals. And I have about 250 or so, or close to 300 members in there as well. So that's me. And I'm looking forward to being a part of the thought leadership brand. Myself and Future Kane, who was also, I met her on LinkedIn. She was also featured in that New York Times article. We've become like besties, and we talk on the phone till 3 a.m. A lot of times that's like our running joke, because we actually do that almost every night. And she'll fall asleep and we're talking. I'm like, wake up, I have more to tell you. So we actually have been just started hosting a room this week on self-awareness and how that impacts equity under the thought leadership brand. And it was really enlightening and inspiring. And we're also going to be hosting another room under the LinkedIn Mastery group, which is about equity and DEI issues. So I'm really excited. I love this community. I love the support. And I thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Thanks so much. You know, what's been great too is I was a fan too. I mean, I was a fan of your work, and that's really why I reached out the first time in February, but also later on. So thanks so much for sharing that, Liz. We're glad to have you. We're going to go around and introduce all these amazing, and again, so check in, we're here. We're part of the Thought Leadership Branding Club. We are promoting the club, the new website. We're inviting you to come speak and host a room and join us and join the club and be part of this really tight-knit community of amazing people. I think it's been a really amazing experience. Next up, let's hear from Melinda. Melinda, why don't you go ahead and share your thoughts and your story.
Yeah, I am so excited to be here and see everyone's faces and hear everyone speak in person versus just over Clubhouse. So thank you, Bobby, for another amazing community event. I recently started a career advancement platform for underrepresented people. And the Thought Leadership Club has been huge in getting that community off the ground. Just a little bit about my backstory. I was a teacher. I pivoted into tech 11 years ago and woke up in a world with 30 million unemployed people and knew that I had programs to help them get jobs. So people go through our 12-week boot camp and they get a job and we talk about networking. So I joined Thought Leadership to learn more about other people's approach to networking and host a room on networking. And we wound up with new paying customers after the first room that we hosted. But also, I mean, the bigger thing is just being able to go to everyone else's rooms and hear their thoughts, and especially lately on imposter syndrome. This has been just everyone who's been participating in those discussions and the LinkedIn Mastery, just big thank you. So I'm just excited that we all get to be here together and learn from each other. And yeah, it's already been a huge part of us helping grow our community. So yeah, big thank you, Bobby.
That's awesome. And I was just reflecting on some memories too. Like there's been some great memories of people who joined the different rooms, the conversation we had. I remember back in the day where I met Liz, actually, there was a conversation on diversity, equity, inclusion, and it went for 4 hours. It was just super long. And I was like, wow, I can't believe we could last a little. We just going and going. And that's where I met several people like Future and Liz and Martin Pratt and John Graham. And yeah, it was really great. Another good memory for me was we were doing a room for LinkedIn Mastery, and all of a sudden Grant Cardone showed up. And the guy has like 500,000 followers, and just all of a sudden hundreds of people joined the room. It's like, whoa, what's going on here? And I put him on stage right away, and we started asking, hey, Grant, thanks for joining us. What was it shared today? And he started sharing some knowledge, and that was a really great moment too, to show that, you know, what we're doing is getting people's attention. We were talking about actually mindset, and he shared some thoughts on mindset and confidence and imposter syndrome, and so that was really good to have him there. Let's keep going though, and next up is Kedma. Kedma, are you available to speak?
Yes. Hi there. Gosh, I don't know what to say. I'm just so excited. What a great team. Bobby this is what we look like when someone has a seed of an idea and brings it to fruition in the matter of weeks, in my opinion, you know what I mean? And just so amazing, such a great group. And yeah, my focus is going to be on Clubhouse and just supporting badass women entrepreneurs and really looking at scaling up and then also looking at a second one for funding. And I'm so excited to just be part of the team and supporting everyone. I mean, the tremendous connection that came, and I know Bobby from LinkedIn, like many of you, but the tremendous connection that came from this and just came into the power of this organization, I mean, is stellar. So yeah, thank you for just letting me be part of this, and so exciting for today.
Thanks, Kedma. And if people want to reach out to you for like business, what would they hire you for?
What would they hire me for? Such a great question. So primarily people hire me for business financing. So anything from grants to inventions, licensing, business consulting is secondary. So I'm just actually kicking off an inventors program with Kevin Harrington, who is former investor for Shark Tank. So that's kicking off this month, July 8th. If you are any inventors or work with any inventors. But yeah, that's pretty much what people know me for, is funding and business and innovation.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ken. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You know, and we were talking about the benefit of being part of the community. Maybe I'll just, before I go on to the next person to do themselves, maybe open up the floor to maybe anybody wanted to comment on the benefit or value of being part of the community of just lead moderators. You know, because I want to also convince everybody in the audience. We want you to apply to be a speaker, to join the club, to be part of the exclusive group of lead moderators. And hey, if there's corporate people watching, come sponsor a room, sponsor a series, sponsor one of these amazing moderators too. But anybody want to share thoughts on the value of being part of the community and the coaching calls, things like that? I see Eric. Why don't you go first, and I'll go to Yashima after that.
what I love about what you created, Bobby, is so off, like, you know how we channel surf? I started doing that on Clubhouse, and it was like, okay, where do I go to find this? Where do I go to connect to this? And I felt like I was losing continuity and learning. And then all of a sudden I stumbled across the thought leadership branding. And it was like, wait a minute, I can come here and get LinkedIn, I can get personal branding, I can get like all of it in one channel. It was like, cancel all the other subscriptions. Let me just load my calendar with it. And what I've noticed now, being sort of a one channel thinker, is that the mods jump back and forth, and then they share guests back and forth. And so it's not just one voice, but it's really a symphony of voices collected around one idea. And I think that's what separates out this maybe versus some standalone rooms or standalone clubs. And so that's what I love about being in the community. It's like, I know that there's a dozen other mods who've got my back, or who are tuning in and will jump up on stage and say, hey, I've got you. I know that answer. Let me contribute instead of try and compete. And that's what I love. And are we supposed to say I'm passing the mic back, or do we just?
No, it's fine. I'll just, next up is Yashim. Go ahead, Yashim.
Yeah, Bobby, and to your credit, it's not just the community, but your community. The community that you build is so much based on collaboration and not the competition, because if we really look at it, all of us, we are experts on LinkedIn, but you have, from the first day I came to your room, you have always made sure I'm included, and I see you doing this for everyone. And for those of you who are maybe new to the Clubhouse, like, you will notice that once you get a bit more popular, unfortunately, some people like hate on you. I got it for my accent. Some people get it for, whatever it is. And it has really impacted me. And Bobby was there for me, so I could share it with him. And because he has so much experience, he could like coach us on it too. And you just so that you will never experience it in Bobby's stages. So whether it's the thought leadership, program, the group, or anything else, Bobby is just such an amazing person. He really shares from his heart. And yeah, I wanted to express my gratitude to you, Bobby.
Thank you. And again, this is the Thought Leadership Branding Club, or the TLB Club. It's all about you. I really don't like it being about me, but I definitely want the help, and I definitely want to support people. So that's cool. Juliana, go ahead.
Sure. I think one of the strengths that Yasim actually sort of alluded to when she said that people hate on our accent. That's the last thing you're going to get when you come into a TLB club, specifically LinkedIn Mastery, where I got my start with Bobby, developing a structure for that series. It's been global from the start. It's been inclusive from the start. It's been, the civility is in our DNA. So that a lot of times when you get people just full of anxiety and angst because they've been in contentious Clubhouse rooms, they come into a LinkedIn Mastery series, specifically TLB in general, and they have a feeling that is, like we've mentioned before, collaborative, because that is the attitude that Bobby said. From the first time that I came into a LinkedIn Mastery room, Bobby was trying to figure out how to create a community, and now look where we've ended up, and we're just getting started. And I'll just close with saying that if you are wanting to moderate Clubhouse rooms, you don't exactly know what type of you have some kind of idea what you want to do, but you're not sure, I encourage you to spend as much time as possible in every single TLB room that you can find, because the way that you're able to find your voice inside of pretty much any TLB session, you will be supported, and people will come in, even if they can't stay, they'll come in and ping people for you. They will come and, if you're getting, I've seen a few of us come in and save one another from trolls, or, that sort of thing. And I just can't thank all of you enough for adhering to the vibe that we set in LinkedIn Mastery, and it's grown into I don't know how many programs on the grid now, and you're all just getting started. So give yourselves a hand. And for those of you that are listening that are not part of us yet, what are you waiting for? You're actually doing life wrong if you haven't signed up. Check out the new website, get on Clubhouse and click on the little greenhouse TLB above the session names and things like that, and come join the party, because this is obviously a party, right?
It's a party, absolutely. And you know, if you go to the website, actually, thoughtleadershipbranding.club, and you actually go to the calendar events, you can actually see the entire calendar of all the stuff we're doing. And there's multiple things every day. It's pretty packed, but there's lots of space. You're like, well, where am I going to fit it? Honestly, we're trying to get people all around the world. We have people from Africa, Europe, we have people from Australia, and of course, North America. We're trying to fill the entire, like, I would love to have rooms running when I was asleep. That would be amazing, right? So there's lots of places, and you know, there's also lots of topics on the thought leadership branding and leadership development, personal development. There's a ton of areas. If you look at our club rules, it's about empathy and inclusivity and all that kind of stuff, and heart, and you know, anything to do with personal development, whether it's relationships, whether it's innovation or new ideas, whether it's speaking, storytelling, things like that. You can talk about. You want to talk about cryptocurrency? Bring in thought leaders. You want to talk about Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff? Bring in thought leaders and talk about those things. That's totally fine. I'm okay with that. I may not be there because I don't know, or maybe I'll just go to learn, right? I certainly can help with that. So check that out. Now, Danielle's got her hand up. If she wants to share a bit about the club and why it's great, that's great. But you can also, let's keep going. You can also introduce yourself, tell us who you are, your experience, and we'll keep going around the room. Go ahead, Daniela.
Hi guys. So I'm more than happy to be able to get to know you all and get to see your faces. We've been sharing a few rooms since, I would say maybe late January or February. I need to confirm when was the first time I got to actually just decide I'm gonna start hosting my own room, and it was right in this very club. And I believe there were just around 800 people. I have my notes somewhere. I am from Venezuela, but I'm currently living in Buenos Aires, Argentina. After living 6 years in Dublin, Ireland, I moved to Buenos Aires trying to do something different with my career, and I encountered human resources and executive search environment, being able then to decide that I wanted to be an image consultant, and then starting helping ambitious professionals to develop a personal brand to boost their career possibilities. And that's what I've been doing since 2019. And then just be able for me to find a way to spread the word in English just could be found when I found this very club back in February this year. Since the day I started running my own consulting firm, I didn't feel that comfortable, confident to be able to share the word. Oh, look, Eric, to share the word in English, because I didn't feel confident. As Jacine was saying a few minutes ago, so many times you have those thoughts, negative thoughts coming your way to tell you that, oh, maybe people won't understand you, or maybe the way that you analyze things or want to share your point of view wouldn't be get right away from people. And just by being part of this club, I found that it was one of the best places for me to feel safe, to be more confident, and at the same time to find a group of people like you guys that we are part of this club to support each other in our own journey to generate more value. So I'm just thankful primarily to you, Bobby. I know that you don't want or don't feel that comfortable when we actually raise our voice to put you forward, because you were the one having the main idea by building this club. I just want to thank you and saying just gracias.
Oh, we can't hear you, Bobby.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so
Now you
I
can.
was just thank you, Tim. I was going to say that thank you for that, Daniela. And what I would also say is that we would love to have rooms in every language. So if you want to run a room in in Spanish or Yiddish or Urdu or Punjabi, Arabic, whatever you want to do, or Bob and I have our own language. We can do one in Klingon, Kapla, and have this whole session. I mean, whatever you want to do, any language, we would love to have that kind of stuff. So by all means, go for it. Yeah, well, Liz is trying to do the Spock thing. That's good attempt. All right, we're talking about the Thought Leadership Branding Club. We're launching a brand new website. We really want you to check it out. We want you to apply to become a speaker. Join this group. Join our weekly calls. Get access to training. I'm also telling you something else that you'll also get. And one of the benefits of membership is we're also going to be starting training. And that's in the future. I've been focusing on the launch of the website, but I want to start putting together a training, a five-series training to help you become the best Clubhouse leader that you can be. So that's something that's coming up along with the coaching that you're going to get. And we also have some resources, downloadable things like that. Next up is Michelle. Michelle, why don't you go ahead?
Oh, Bobby, can I just mention that, I have attended your Thought Leadership Challenge on LinkedIn, and that was so amazing. I learned so much that I cannot even wait for you to unlock the other training. So if you are not following Bobby, if you are not joining us in the club, you have no idea what you are missing out.
Thank you, Sheem. Michelle, why don't you go ahead?
This is amazing. So I'm Michelle Saunders. Nice to meet all of you. I am a brand new member of this club. And I have to thank Lynn Williams, who introduced me to the club and suggested that I look into this and so forth. So thank you, Lynn. Nice to see you. And Bobby, it's really great to meet you. And I am somebody who just really loves to connect one-on-one with everybody, to build community, to really work together. So if anybody ever wants to have a chat apart from this and get to know one another, I'm always game for that. So what I do is I'm a mindset and transition coach. I'm a professional coach. And my first career was in human resources as a trainer. So when you mentioned, Bobby, training, I love training. So if there's anything I can do to help participate in that avenue, I'd be happy to jump in and explore that. But I used to run training seminars and workshops for a lot of different corporations. And I don't know what that noise is. Should I keep talking or?
Yeah, keep talking. I just dropped 100 pens. It's fine. Keep going.
Oh, problem. Okay. So I used to run training for internal employees at banks and consulting firms and so forth. And that was a wonderful career. I loved it. I then took a long break and I stayed home. I raised my kids. And this is my third chapter, I call it. I became certified as a professional coach. I have a degree in master's in social work. And there was a time when I had thought that maybe I wanted to explore becoming a therapist. I decided not to. I stayed in HR. But now as a coach, I'm kind of combining all of my love for personal and professional development. And my focus is on helping women re-enter the workplace after a break, whether it be voluntary or involuntary, or really help them transition to work that is more fulfilling and interesting and following their passion. So in my work, I have conversations with people all the time, because we're talking about professional development, of people who really want to network, who want to find opportunities, who don't know where to begin, who feel stuck. And so the room that I'm going to be, I'm really excited about moderating in this club, is all about even deepening the networking sphere. So I'm calling it 6 degrees of separation, so that people can really help one another think of ideas, think of places, think of opportunities where people can explore beyond just what's right in front of them. And I would love to even moderate other rooms as well. I love Clubhouse, and I'm so happy to be part of this community. I feel like I found a gold mine here, and I just can't wait to get to know all of you. And this Friday even, I'm co-modding with Daniela. I'm excited to do that. So that's about it for me. Nice to meet all of you. Hope to get to know you more going forward.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that. Really appreciate it, Michelle. And again, we're here just to promote Thought Leadership Branding Club and invite you to join us. Next up is Eric. And again, we want to make sure everyone gets a chance to speak, share a bit of your expertise, share why you love Clubhouse, encourage people to join the benefits of being part of this exclusive community. But Eric, why don't you go ahead, please?
Hey, thank you, Bobby. First, shout out to Michelle and Leanne and Nate. I attended their Clubhouse room several times on the personal brand mastery, and then they invited me up. No competition, all collaboration. And then they started saying, you need a room of your own. You need to go do a room of your own. I wasn't sure if they were trying to get rid of me or encourage me. So I took it as encouragement because we all get to pick our own filters. And so I'll be starting the Story Builders Club. And so what I do all day long is that stuff behind me. I turn those manuscripts into books. It started because I was coaching so many people on building their business, and they'd say, I wrote a book. I'm like, oh, send it to me. And I had one or two responses like, this doesn't sound like you or your business, or this is really crap. And I felt bad. And so I started telling people how to build their books better because I had been doing it on the side all along. And so more and more, I know that our story is our competitive advantage. It's the one thing that we can own that nobody else can share the space. And so if you build it and build it right, you can build a platform, you can build a business, you can build an empire around it. And so that's what we'll be doing in the Story Builders Club. We're not going to just focus on how to write the book, but really what is that red thread story that you can begin to put all throughout your business and your brand. And so I'm excited. We start next Tuesday at 3 p.m. if I got everything right. If not, Bobby will tell me and he'll fix it on the website and I'll just show up and do what we're going to do. So thank you, Bobby, for inviting me to be a part of this. I'm excited to share and see so many great stories come out of the Story Builders Club. I've got to jump though, because I'm off to Australia to do an editing project, well, virtually. And so I thank you, everybody, and congratulations, Bobby, on your success and the community that you created. You're creating an impact and an influence, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
You do a thumbs up for the photo. Everyone give a thumbs up, right? Everybody thumbs up. Or even a group was fine. Okay, who's taking a picture? Do it, and there we go. We got it. All right. Next up is Heather. Go ahead, Heather.
Thank you, Bobby. And Eric, I look forward to checking out that room. I think one of the most amazing things about thought leadership branding is there's always another topic that you're going to be interested in joining. I know for me as a young professional and having communications as my background, thought leadership branding is such a great place to learn and collaborate. And I know it's been mentioned before, but I don't think we can overstate enough the support that comes out of this club. Between, as Bobby said, the WhatsApp groups, we have a website now where you can, see what other sessions are going on, and just being able to talk to different moderators in the club, find out what topics they're interested in speaking on, running new rooms, running rooms that go on a weekly basis or a daily basis, and having different people show up. I think something that I've learned is, one of the best parts about thought leadership branding is anyone can have a thought that they want to share and expertise to share with more people. I think that it's really important to know that even if you don't consider yourself an expert, that's just that imposter syndrome. I think everyone can be an expert in something if they've done it enough and, have enough experience. And I know for myself, that is talking about being a young professional, talking about communication, content development. I host a weekly room under the club that I always love, which is networking with young professionals. And one of my favorite parts are the conversations that you have. If you are watching this live stream and maybe you're wondering, this thought leadership branding sounds amazing, and maybe you're not even on Clubhouse yet. Clubhouse is an amazing place to hold those conversations, learn from people, and, taking LinkedIn Mastery as an example, it is a daily room, but the conversations are different every day because there are different people hosting the conversations, participating in those conversations, and you never know what you're going to learn. So I think that's something that's really amazing about the club. And Bobby talked about moderator support. Those of us who have been moderating for a bit longer definitely have it down. So don't be afraid to reach out to a more experienced moderator if you need that support. I think that as something that the thought leadership brand holds dearly. You know, it's not about everyone for themselves. It's about supporting one another and making everyone feel comfortable. I very rarely see a room under thought leadership branding where it's one person by themselves. Usually there are multiple people jumping in to help, and I think that's a great part of it. Just a couple of shout outs on my end. I also love hosting rooms with Dan Roth, who's a frequent moderator, and Sonal Mishra. We host another room together on Saturday mornings about creating authentic and engaging content. And while I work in the corporate space, I don't have my own business. I kind of think of Clubhouse as that little, you know, side project, passion project. I think it's such an awesome community that I also discovered in January of this year. It's amazing that it's been almost 6 months of being part of that and learning more and more about thought leadership branding and connecting with those of you listening and also on the call today. So really appreciate everything. Back to you, Bobby.
Thanks so much. And that reminds me, like, you know, one of the benefits of being part of this club, particularly when you join as one of the lead moderators and apply to host your own room, is that you get access to coaching calls and you get access to resources to be a better moderator. We talk about being a better moderator. We talk about how to promote your room. We talk about how to monetize your business or your entrepreneurship. And we're doing all that stuff that can help you do that. And the other thing we're doing now is that we are actually trying to get people, we're going to be featuring moderators as moderators for hire, because other companies and other rooms want seasoned moderators. So we're going to feature you, the lead moderators who demonstrate their expertise and demonstrate their knowledge. We're going to feature you as moderators for hire and promote you as part of the TLB club. By the way, thought leadership brand is a long word, so TLB club is a good short form for people who are saying that. Now, I forgot who I promised was next. I think it's Michelle G. Yeah, Michelle G. Why don't you go ahead, please?
Thank you, everybody. Welcome. I'm Michelle Griffin, and welcome. I joined a little bit late, so I apologize for being tardy. I joined Clubhouse day after Christmas and hopped on the first week of January. I started hosting the personal branding room with my colleague Nate Payo, and we just decided that personal branding is so important and needed its own room. So we started, and we've been going every week since. But sometime in around April or March, I realized, and I joined Bobby's group right off the bat, I realized that we could get traction together in numbers. I was going in the rooms and seeing, and I reached out to Bobby and I said, Bobby, we would love if you had room to, you know, host our room here and in your club. And of course, as he always is, he was very gracious, invited us in. So we found a time and we just thrived. Can I not say that together numbers is so true, but becoming a part of this group, not only for the coaching and the back end support, just the name, it's a brand, you know, no pun intended, but it gives us all clout because it is known for being full of amazing people. We're here to give, to support, and it attracts the same. So I have been just such a fan of Clubhouse and Bobby and Thought Leadership Branding Club since, you know, I joined 2 months ago. I'm about to hit 6 months. And the reason I did it is because very much part of my brand as a personal brand strategist, my mission is to help you put yourself out there. I see the best and brightest who are doing amazing things to help others held back, or you're not known because there's some hesitation. And I myself suffered from that too, so I can relate. So I'm here as a personal brand strategist to help you put yourself out there, predominantly on LinkedIn, but just to bring yourself out there so people know how different you are and defined and differentiated, and give you a platform and your fuel, which is your content. So we address all these things in our personal branding mastery. I'm lucky enough to also co-host on Thursday afternoons LinkedIn Mastery, and I also help out on Saturday. So I feel a part of it, but mostly I want to be a part of it. I want to meet everyone here. I have met people all over the world, connected with you, and it has made me a better person. And I want to learn from you all, because not only if you're joining us now or been a part, we're a special group, and we're here to support, to have conversations and bring change for the better for all of us. So I wanted to say thank you again to each and every one of you for all your hours here, all your support. And if you're thinking about joining us, come on in. We're a great group and we'd love to have you. I was going to say, I think that's about it. I also, I think sometime in like last month, we changed it to Personal Branding Mastery. to match our LinkedIn Mastery sister room, and we invited Leanne Calderwood sometime in April. She's one of our co-hosts, and Eric, who you just met. So we're a group of 4. We are strong, and also too, if you ever like to guest speak in Personal Branding Mastery, please find me. We'd love to have you. So that's about it. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you do, and look forward to meeting you soon if I haven't. Thank you so much, Bobby. I appreciate all you do. I'm Michelle, and I'm done speaking.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Michelle. We really appreciate you and your
Thank you.
contribution. Yeah, it's been a great experience with you and all of you. I mean, a year ago, I don't think there's any. A year ago, how many of you did I even know as that person? Like I knew
No.
Bob and I knew Kedma, and I think
Wow.
that's it. So
Yeah.
it's been.
I met you in January, Bobby. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
went to your room. And one other thing I know I was going to say, if you want to put yourself out there, and today is like New Year's Eve 2.0. I wrote a post about it. On January 1st of this year, I started something called the 365 Challenge to help people, and me, myself, and Rachel's here, Rachel did it, to put yourself out there, to be consistent. So I said, we're going to do it again. Let's start 2.0. So if you want to put yourself out there, hit me up. But anyway, Bobby and I have been, you've been having LinkedIn Mastery exact same amount of time I've been posting daily content. So what's today's LinkedIn Mastery number? 181?
180 something.
Yeah, we're about the same. So that's when I first met you. And I have to give a shout out to him because he was so welcoming. We connected and he was like so chatty and nice. So so you've always been a genuine person. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that worked out. And, I think I had a thought, but I'm forgetting it now because I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to speak. Yashin, why don't you go ahead next?
Thank you, Bobby, and so great to be with all of you. And Bobby, I think everyone here is saying it, and I mentioned it, but I can't say it enough. You have really created this beautiful community for all of us to be part of. And yes, Clubhouse is amazing, but to be part of the TLB community is even more amazing because, as I shared, here it's really collaboration over competition, and we all help each other, on the Clubhouse as well as outside of the Clubhouse. And Bobby, your efforts, they do not go unseen. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows it, that this group, especially because of Bobby's leadership, is so inclusive, and you will always feel very welcome and very supported, not just by Bobby, but everyone I have already met. So Bobby, do you want me to talk about also what I do for work, or what would you like me to touch upon on?
Really, I mean, the main thing is like just let people know. Actually, you know what? If you don't mind, I forgot I skipped Sumana, and she has to go in 4 minutes. So I'm going to come back to you, and I'm going to move to Sumana. Sumana, you go ahead, please. I know you have to go.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so sorry to take time. I have to go host a room on Clubhouse.
Right. I know, right? Tell them about this room. They can leave this room maybe in 20 minutes and go visit.
Yeah, come join me. I do a weekly wellness solutions room in Clubhouse, but I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Bobby. Everybody else, it's been such a delight just listening to everybody. My name is Sumana Jetty. I'm from Alberta, Canada. And the way that I met Bobby was like so random. I was literally at a grocery store on Clubhouse. I was on Clubhouse since January. And then I think sometime in March, I was listening to LinkedIn Mastery, and I don't know how I got up on stage, but I got up on stage, and next thing I know, Bobby was DMing me saying, hey, do you want to host a room about burnout? Because that's what I talk about. That's what I'm passionate about, is burnout and wellness and workplace wellness. And then I was like, I don't even know who Bobby is. So let me look this person up. So that's basically what I did. And it honestly snowballed right after that. It was amazing. I am so happy to be part of this community. I love, every single person I've met. I host 2 rooms on Clubhouse. One is the burnout room with two awesome collaborators, Rebecca Goldman, she's not here, Rebecca O'Brien is also not here, but I'm representing them. And the other room that I host is with Marion Spears Carr, and we do a healthcare leadership room. Again, you know, a lot of people have been talking about collaboration, and I met Marion through Clubhouse in Bobby's coaching session, and it was like a match made in heaven. I just adore that man. He is so good, because I come from public health. I come from leadership in public health. Is just like the perfect fit. So that's what I do, and I'm so delighted to be here. My brand is Wellness Shots. I talk about burnout again. And you can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on TikTok. I make a bunch of videos. My vibe is just very playful, but I like to bring in the science into the videos that I make and the content that I create. So Bobby, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I have been like looking forward to this event. I'm just so delighted to get to meet everybody, see all your faces. It's been such a good time, vibes all the way. So thank you so much for this data time. Cheers.
Go check out Samana's promo video of the club, because it's the best one. It's like, it's so fun and playful, and I wish I could do that kind of fun stuff with my videos, but it was really, really good. So thank you for that. All right, thanks, Samana. Good luck on your room again. She's going to host a room on Clubhouse on the Thought Leadership Brand Club. So there you go. One of the best parts is you host a club on the Thought Leadership Brand Club. Number one, it automatically notifies the 14,000 people in our group. Next thing you know, you get to and then you get to have a brand cachet, and people join you and support you. Yashim, go ahead and give me a quick business elevator pitch, and then we'll move on.
Sure. So what I do in the rooms that I host under the Thought Leadership Branding Club are all about finding your ideal clients on Instagram and LinkedIn, as well as like from having them as your followers to nurturing that relationship, building your tribe, and just creating this from them becoming just a LinkedIn connection or an Instagram connection to making them an engaged follower, and later on to also having them part of your paid clients. So, and while doing all of this, while also creating a brand for yourself so that you can really charge the prices that you would like to charge for your services, and you are not really competing with everyone, because now you have something you differentiated yourself with. So I very much focus on like how the algorithms work on Instagram and LinkedIn, and what you should do when it comes to your content, as well as other things like lead generation on LinkedIn and Instagram to attract your ideal clients, all the way from finding them to converting them to become followers, connections, to warming up the relationship further and taking them to the next steps.
Thank you. And what's really great too is that, you know, we collaborate with each other all the time. So on our weekly coaching calls or on our WhatsApp group, that's also private, we'll say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? And next thing you know, I'll help, or I know somebody, I connect you. And, you know, the power of our community is also the power of our network, where we help each other out. So I think that's really important. Next up is Ed.
Bobby goes out of his way really to do that. So just for everyone knows it, like he really walks his talk. So I could not talk higher about Bobby. So wanted to make sure everyone knows that.
Thank you. Thank you. Ed, why don't you go ahead, please? Introduce yourself.
Great. Ed Samuel. My firm's called Sam Nova. You know, I want to give Lynn Williams a shout out, because she pinged me at like 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday. And I said, what is this? And then it's a Clubhouse. We started talking live. So the rest is a little bit of history, but she got me involved. Look, I'm a executive career coach, and I help people. But most of the people we help are employed, and they want to get to a better place. We try to optimize their careers. I'm an assessment team leader. I'm an author and a ministry leader. But I'm also a radio host in Philadelphia for going on 3 years now. So so Clubhouse was kind of this interesting thing that I saw, that I thought, wow, you get to talk to all these people live, and I get to do this on Saturday mornings and on careers. And I really liked what I saw, and I started hosting a room. And next thing you know, Lynn said, you know what, you better rethink this. and join Bobby's team. And I'm glad I did, because very collaborative group of people that I'm working with. And I'm actually rubbing shoulders with some amazing people just across the board. Not to single anybody, one person out, but now I'm co-moderating with some really remarkable people. I also like the fact that, yeah, I see that, Pat. But I like the fact that, you know, if there's a little bit of fairness, I like the fairness part of what we do here, and bringing people on stage and giving everybody a voice, and the fact that you can touch people from around the world. It's just an amazing opportunity. And so what I'm doing now is every other week on Tuesdays from 11 to 12, optimize your career on a different topic. I'll have a different moderator, and some are going to stay with me, like Lynn Williams. We're going to continue to do things probably once a month or more. So, and it's a great opportunity to help people get to a better place. And knock on wood, maybe a few people will call me, and a few have, and they might get some work because of it. And look, we've helped 700 plus clients to date. I think this gives me an opportunity to touch even more lives for the better. So that's a little bit why I'm here. And there's nothing you know, Bobby being inclusive and being supportive, and Beck actually being there most of the time. When you send him a note, he actually responds, which is pretty amazing compared to some. So in that regard, that's kind of where I'm at. I have to shoot out a little bit early because I have a client with the job offer, and the employer is actually kind of pushing him for an answer tonight. So for that, I apologize. But thank you, Bobby, and thank you, everybody. Good meeting, everyone.
I appreciate for that. And, you know, again, there's a lot of great power of community with this club, and that's why we encourage people to check out our website, thoughtleadershipbranding.club. Check out, apply to host your own room. If your company wants to sponsor a room, you totally can. And I also want to mention that, you know, we're live streaming actually across Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, although most people here are my LinkedIn connections. We want to get people connections from all across the different platforms. And on top of that, you know, we want, if you have questions about Clubhouse or how we run our rooms or what we're doing, put them in the chat box and we'll get to you on that. Next up is Pat. Pat, go ahead, please.
Hey, thank you so much. Pat Roquet. They call me the Rockstar Career Transformation Coach. My gift is helping shine the light on you and your gift, your zone of genius. And I help midlife, super successful leaders and their teams figure out how to drive employee engagement and really, ready, get paid well doing what you love without selling your soul or losing your mind. I've been in both places, and it's more fun really driving the horse and deciding what you want and what you deserve. So I'm all about career soul searching. My background was in marketing and PR, lost my last job at age 50, had a ugly snot crying meltdown. And my best friend gave me this box of rocks with 50 rocks, and the box had 50 rocks, and so do you. And so I bring that box of rocks all over the world and empower teams, companies, and the leaders and individuals within to really figure out their strength, their zone of genius, and your non-negotiable priorities. Then confidence with your competence. Finally, how to communicate and really leverage your connections. And this group has been all about leveraging connections, lifting each other up. Was in an awesome room today talking about burnout, talking about work-life balance. I mean, we're really bringing all kinds of interesting and important conversations to the table. I highly encourage you to step up. It's a safe place for you to try new things. You don't have to be an extrovert. You don't have to be an eloquent speaker. You just have to be fun, right? Fun counts, and willing to share your genius, because I promise people are out there waiting for you. And I thank you, Bobby, for inspiring everyone to think bigger, to try new things, to collaborate, and you'll find out who's the right fit. Not everybody's a perfect fit, but you'll find your lane, and you can jump in everybody else's rooms and be welcomed onto stages. It is a party and a place to really grow your thought leadership. So join the club. It's for everyone. It's for you. And we're happy to welcome you with open arms. Again, I'm Rock on Success on pretty much all my handles. And that's it. Happy to be here, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Pat, for all your promotion on the live stream itself on LinkedIn, which I see you're like tapping like crazy and sharing some great insights. So
I'm a certified virtual presenter, so I forgot. I have to just say this. I'm sorry. I did my master's thesis on best practices for virtual teams in spring 2001, before 9/11, months before the towers fell. So literally helping people in teams and working online and teaching online for decades. So this is my jam. It's necessary, and it's time it got its due. So keep at it. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks so much, Pat. And we're going to keep going around the room to just hear from different folks. We talk a lot about collaboration, and collaboration. Community is one part of the collaboration. The other collaboration that I want to talk about is the team. Several people reached out to me and said, like, why don't we take this to the next level? And I suggested maybe I could use some help with that. And next thing you know, several people stepped up. Dan Roth, I don't know where he is. He's probably sleeping. He's really tired, and so he's probably sleeping. But I wish he could be. But he's been a huge instrument in this. Other people like Heather have been part of it, Kedma as well. But I want to move on to Lynn, who came on early in the process, along with Ilya and Leanne as well, and brought in Tom. And she's just been really, she's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Organized. And for someone like myself, who is, I'm pretty organized, actually, I gotta say. But she takes it to the next level. And so I think she's been really a huge help for us for getting the team together, getting us organized with the weekly meetings and the leadership team to help us build what we've done. So Lynn, please go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Thank you so much, Bobby. It's just been wonderful to be part of this team and this community. It's not about competition at all. It's about collegiality. I don't think anybody's used that word yet. It's community, but it is collegiality. We do help and support one another. And it's been, fun being part of the weekly meetings, as well as the coaching calls, and the weekly meetings for the team leadership, and how we put all these different brains together to create something better than each one of us could create on our own. Now, I have had the privilege of meeting some of the folks in person, like Ken Lang and Ed Samuel and Tom Noble, which I will talk a little bit more about in just a minute. But for me to meet so many diverse people from around the world, of people that I've never, ever would have met, I mean, it's just truly amazing. And the friendships that have developed, and so many of the folks that are right here on this platform, like Ed and Kenneth and Melanie, have come to speak for my group. So I'll just tell you a little bit about what I do. So I'm a nonprofit leader. I'm a servant leader. I help people. Mainly target market is job seekers. So I do LinkedIn for job seekers, and I write ATS resumes. In fact, I wrote a chapter in a book with Dick Bowles, the author of What Color's Your Parachute, and 15 other career coaches from around the country. So the ATS is one of my favorite things to help people deal with when they're in their job hunt. But as a nonprofit leader, I am the executive director of the Great Careers Groups in Bang. So it's greatcareersphl.org. We run about 600 events a year, mainly on Zoom, but now we've added a Clubhouse room. So I run a Clubhouse room every Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. And I always have a focused topic, and I have a speaker come, and I'll do LinkedIn Live reviews. That's coming up July 2nd with Ed Samuel, or we'll talk about introverts or career optimization or ageism. I mean, the topics are varied, but it all is focused on helping job seekers. And I had Marion Spears come to speak at chempharma.net. I actually became the president of chempharma.net a couple weeks ago. So that is also a community of chemistry, chemical engineers, pharmaceutical type people, healthcare. So Marion's going to actually have me on his show. So we kind of feed off each other on and off LinkedIn. It's just phenomenal. And because of COVID, we were a local greater Philadelphia group. We were running about 1,000 events a year in person, but now we're able to reach people around the world, by Zoom. And I'm so excited to just, be able to be part of the Thought Leadership Branding Club, so that we can include that in our mix. So thank you for including me, and thank you for allowing me to use my administrative skills, I guess, and organization skills, and be part of the team. So I want to give one shout out to Tom. So Tom is local to me, Tom Noble, and he is the one that built the website. And I think he just did a phenomenal job. He just rose to the occasion. Yay, Tom. You still on here, Tom? Yeah, there he is. Okay. So Pig Art Graphics, pigartgraphics.com. Check it out. Tom is just a phenomenal website builder. Tom and I met each other through WordPress clubs, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. So I've known him a long time, and he's done a lot of websites for a lot of people that I know. So I know, like, and trust him. Thank you. Back to you, Bobby.
Yeah, Tom's been really great. All the tech stuff that I know nothing about, he's always been there, and he texts me, he emails me, and he's been supportive. And there's some complicated hiccups in getting the website together, and he was there, and now it's like, it's great. Like, the website's really good. I encourage you all to actually go to the website and look through it and check all the different pages, because you'll explore, there's some great insights and resources you'll actually find that you may not realize. So think about that. I also want to mention that the Thought Leadership Branding Club also has a LinkedIn page called Thought Leadership Branding Club on Clubhouse. Oh. We also have a Instagram page, TLB Club, so you can check those out as well and follow those things as well. And you can talk about this event using the hashtag TLB Club. Thanks, Lynn. I want to go to Rachel, because I know she doesn't have to go as well. So Rachel, please, you're awesome too. So come on, share a bit about your experience.
Sure. This is so fun to see everyone's faces. I joined Clubhouse on my birthday, January 7th, and was kind of like in awe initially, getting to talk to people who I had followed for quite a while on LinkedIn. And what was amazing to me from the beginning was meeting people like Bobby, who had a huge following and who I had never seen before. LinkedIn is going to just show you the people that it shows you, but there's all these amazing people out there. And within a matter of weeks, I was exposed to all of these like incredible, creative, insightful individuals, and it was just awesome. So I must have been in a LinkedIn Mastery room, and I think Bobby was launching the club and kind of put a call out like, who wants to talk about whatever. And so we had talked about bots and automation, which is something that I am very passionate about educating people on. And I messaged Ken Lang and was like, would you maybe co-mod with me? Because I have no moderation experience and I want to learn. And so we started doing our room, and we've moved around a little bit, but it's Thursdays at 12:30. It's always a fun time. We kind of talk around the topic of automation on LinkedIn. But what's been just my favorite thing is building these real relationships with people. But also I'd really encourage anybody who's like, oh, I don't know how, I don't have experience moderating rooms, and who would want to listen to me? That was me 6 months ago. And it's been so amazing for my own personal growth and development, confidence, again, like coming up with content ideas for my own LinkedIn posts. It's just do it. Like, just be a yes for the rest of 2021. And just very briefly about me, I'm a LinkedIn trainer. I do a lot of profile writing and helping my clients get their profiles in tip-top shape to really tell their story, understand who they're connected to in their network, and put out awesome content that's going to get them seen and noticed. And I just think this is a great group of people. I'm really honored to be a part of it. And thank you for all your leadership, Bobby.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel. That was really great. And yeah, maybe I could get you to fix up my LinkedIn headline, because I keep changing it every 2 weeks. So, but let's keep going. Great. Again, I want to make sure everyone has a chance to share a bit about who they are, because part of the reason I'm doing this is, I love my moderators. I love the community. I want to feature all of you. I want to support you. I want everyone to hire you. So everyone who's watching this, make sure you go to the feed of this chat, of this live stream, which is recorded, and it'll be there on my profile forever. You can see everyone's LinkedIn profiles. You can follow everybody, okay, and that'll be amazing, okay. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's so important to do this, because I think that we all grow and go further together, and that's why it's so big. It's so important to do that. So just want to make sure I pointed that out. Now, there's a few people that haven't gone yet, so I just want to make sure we get to them. And I think Bob had to leave and get a chance to get him to say hello, so I apologize for that. But Melanie, why don't you go ahead now?
Okay, thanks, Bobby. Yeah, I mean, I think the Thought Leadership Branding Club for me just changed my whole Clubhouse experience, personally as well as professionally. I mean, I'm always hesitant. Like, I'm the person that says, I don't want another app on my phone. Like, I have no desire for any more social media whatsoever in life. And, I went on there and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? And as I'm growing in my business, it has allowed me to, to sound repetitive, from everybody, but it's really allowed me to connect with people that I never thought that I would get to have conversations with. I mean, I'm a fangirl of Juliana, and having her come into my Clubhouse room one night was just like, you might as well have just, given me a big party for that. So that was huge for me. And that's just the kind of relationships that happen, and they're authentic. And that's the thing, is like, it's the most authentic, connection. And having Lynn reach out and say, will you give a presentation, to my group? I mean, it's just opened up a lot of doors. I was a little late coming in because I was being interviewed by a CEO of a company that is, talking to me about doing coaching for their employees. And one of the things that they mentioned is like, oh, we don't really, I see you do a lot with LinkedIn. Like, what's that all about? How do you keep up to date? And I literally mentioned the Thought Leadership Branding Club in that interview, because I was literally like, this is how I stay up to date. I go into these rooms, I listen, I learn. And, Bill and I, we host our room on Thursdays, LinkedIn 101, how to become a LinkedIn rock star. And we joke that we're just rock stars in the making, and we just learn from everybody else. And we're just sharing stories and supporting one another, and how to be better on LinkedIn and, get your brand out there, whether you're looking for a job. I was a recruiter for 18 years. I had to repivot in 2017. And now I'm a career coach 4 years in and building my business. And it's an honor to get to be in that, I said it in my video yesterday, it's just an honor to be at the table and to be able to have direct knowledge and be able to learn on a daily basis. So it's been truly an amazing experience, both on a professional and personal level. So thank you, guys.
That's great. And again, the fact that we're able to help people with their brands, with their businesses, to help them grow, that's one of the reasons why to join the club, be part of it. Check out the website. So thanks so much for that. I want to make sure we heard. Yeah, go ahead.
Before we go on to the next person, I want to call something out about Melanie. Sure. One of the aspects of fear that you deal with when you're a moderator for the first time is that, things can feel a little awkward, and you're not sure how many people are going to show up to the room. And let me just tell you something. If you have any trepidation whatsoever, just get in there and try it, because Melanie is like one of the people that I've seen grow like this. When she got into her first room or second room or third room, it became, I sound so motherly. I don't care. It's just a pleasure for me to like see people come into TLB, do their first room, and then see who you are by the time you do like your third or your fourth. The growth process happens really, really fast. All you got to do is jump on in there, and you have a bunch of friends willing to root you on. Didn't want to take up much time, but when she mentioned me coming in, I just remembered her trajectory was like this, just skyrocket. Because most of you have so much to offer that the problem is not, oh my God, what are you going to say? It's just, in what order are you going to present your ideas? Just, and let the moment dictate where your need is. And so thank you, Melanie, for setting a wonderful example for the rest of the new moderators and the TLB members to come. So sign on up, folks.
Yeah, and I can also
Thank
tell
you,
you,
Juliana.
and I can also tell you the people that do the best are the ones who take advantage of the community. They ask questions, they talk in the WhatsApp group, they come to the coaching calls, they're eager to learn, they ask dozens of questions, and that they're the ones who are growing faster than other people. And so there's advantages of being part of the community, taking advantage of these things. That's why we offer those things. Let's keep going, because we're going long, and so I want to make sure we get to everybody. So Simone, why don't you go ahead, please, and share your thoughts, your experience.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be part of this club. It was the first club on Clubhouse that I went into, and the first time that I got on stage, actually. And it was because it just seemed like such a really warm and welcoming space. And every time I've been on Clubhouse, I always compared everybody else to the Thought Leader Branding Club and thought, geez, I had such a great time with the people. And I'd see the moderators in other rooms, and it's like I knew them. I could hear their voices, and I just knew them. So it was really inspiring to be amongst these people who shared so willingly. And I thought, I've got something I want to share. I hope. I'm working on it. It's going to be creativity for business. My background is actually in HR, and I'm trying to find a job now in learning and development. But I do have a creative background, having worked in advertising and studied fashion design. So I thought I want to go back into that kind of creative world, and thought leadership branding is a great place to do it. So I hope when I get my act together that some of you will join me on stage as a co-moderator, and definitely in the audience and guest speaking. So it's me. Thank you very much. And I'm done.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that. And I'm done speaking. It's part of the culture here in terms of how we talk, which is awesome. We only have a few more people to hear from, so let's hear from Tim. Go ahead, Tim.
Sure, Bobby. Well, I'm really glad to be here at this party. I'll tell you, I came into Clubhouse months ago before the new year, and I was looking for people with whom to connect regarding becoming a TEDx speaker. And there are various TEDx speakers. They're great and everything like that. And I happened to bump into one of the rooms where Bobby was speaking, and it's funny how through the voice, your personality and your character comes across. And what I just appreciated, what I gravitated towards was just how authentic he was, and he was somebody that I wanted to belong to his community in his passing comment that he had made, and, months, probably weeks after that, I joined this community. And what I'll just add to what everyone else has said is that, a community is not just the numbers that it has grown, which is amazing, but it's that you belong. You don't feel like a part of you're not part of a team, but you feel like a part of a team. And that's one thing that we all, I think, share, that we all feel like we belong to this group. So those of you who are going to listen to this and watch this LinkedIn Live, definitely join the TLB Club, Thought Leadership Branding. I think that, regardless of how experienced we are, what status we have in our field and expertise, we tend to become over-specialized on something. Or if we think that we are a jack of all trades and we are good at many different things, there's never been a better time and more appropriate time than now to be known as an expert, because there's so many different specialties that are arising, that are emerging, data analytics, data science. And in order to stay competitive, stay relevant, you have to be a thought leader. And just there's so much diverse experience in this group that Bobby has built. And so I'm proud to belong to it. So a little bit about myself very quickly. So my background is in pharma. So I've worked in pharma, various different sizes of pharmaceutical companies and stages for 17 years. And I have a management and performance consulting company with which I help organizations transform data into behaviors and predict and express behaviors as data as well. So I merged the two, and I have a room on Thursdays at 7 p.m. As a part of the TLB club called Find Meaning at Work with Culture and Metrics. And so I thank Lynn and Daniela, Pat, Bobby, of course. They've helped me moderate this room. It's growing. And so I invite you to that room as well. Great to see everybody here. Join the TLB club.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Tim. I appreciate it. And, you know, I think everyone's had a chance to speak except for Tom. But I want Tom to speak because Tom is the one who helps put the website together. And the reason we're here is to launch the website, thoughtleadershipbranding.club. It has everything to do with whether you want to host a room, your own room, be part of this exclusive community and get the training, coaching that you need to grow your brand on Clubhouse. Whether you want to sponsor a room and be part of a corporate sponsor to sponsor a series or a room and to get your brand out there. Whether you want to guest speak in one of the rooms, or whether you just want to follow the club and get access to the resource, or follow us along our different platforms on LinkedIn and Instagram. But the website's pretty comprehensive now, and I want to thank Tom for that. Tom, I'd love for you to share a bit about your thoughts in terms of what excites you about the website, but also your experience in being part of what we've been doing.
It's actually been an honor and a privilege to be part of this club and be part of this community. And it has really opened up my eyes in terms of, you know, I love community, but I've always been in a community that I was near. And this has been so enlightening to be part of this, you know, international community. I really enjoyed the steering committee, the back and forth messages and creating things on the fly. I love being on the hot seat and just a fun, you know, aspect of, you know, getting things accomplished, but doing them with fun and doing them with creativity. I really enjoy, you know, working on websites and working with clients. I do become very close to my clients, and I consider them my friends. And it is a privilege and a pleasure to have known all of you particularly, and I've really enjoyed the Clubhouse. I've really enjoyed going to the rooms. It's opened up my ideas for a lot of things that I can do. It's just great knowledge in all of those rooms, and the moderators and the speakers. It is a lot of fun, and thank you for that. And I never would have run into without my partner in crime, Lynn Williams. So thank you to Lynn. You know, she volunteered me into this opportunity, and it's been a pleasure. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. And you know, now that everyone's had a chance to speak, you know, I want to, except for the CTO, which is my son, he's not going to be speaking, but he's behind the scenes there. So thanks to my son who's being part of this chat. He likes to get involved with the tech. So he's like, "Daddy, make me a co-host." I'm like, "Okay, sure." But I wanted to say that what are the plans for the future? Like, where do we want to see this thing go? So I kind of mentioned a couple of things that are in my mind. One is I'd love to see more international stuff that we're doing. So across, do more international, covering all the different time zones, all the different time periods on the 24-hour scale. I want to increase the diversity of our group. I want to have people across all different nationalities and different types of minority groups and different types of groups to make it a far more diverse experience. I'm a big believer in diversity, and that's why we have several diversity and inclusion type events in the Thought Leadership Branding Club. I'd love to have a broader range of topics. You know, like I mentioned earlier, you know, cryptocurrency or things I know nothing about, like, you know, financial investments. We need to bring people in who talk about that stuff and be the thought leaders who drive those conversations. So that's kind of stuff that I want to see. Anybody else just want to share thoughts? I see Brenda Miller's here. Anybody else want to share some thoughts of, you know, what they'd like to see, or maybe some highlights or things like that? Just in terms of as we go forward to the future. Anybody want to share some thoughts? It's more of a group discussion piece versus popcorn style or whatever that. Anybody want to share anything? It's okay if nobody has any idea.
I don't have a.
Yeah, Michelle, go ahead.
Hi again. I don't have a thought in terms of going forward, as I'm so new and I'm just starting with this club. I have moderated a lot of rooms in other clubs, but I just want to say this is a launch party for, you know, this club, and this is amazing. And I've never been to a launch party like this for a club on Clubhouse. And for someone who's new, and any of you out there who are listening, who want to join a community on a club like this, I'll just say from my experience being brand new, I'm instantly welcomed and feel a camaraderie and just a collaborative feeling. And I just want to thank you, Bobby, because I think this is quite unique. So really happy for the opportunity, and anyone listening out there, I really encourage to jump on board.
Thanks.
I hope I can just chime in and
Yeah, please.
piggyback off of what Michelle said. It's really actually serendipitous because I was having a conversation with Future Kane the day before you reached out to me and DM'd me on LinkedIn, Bobby, about how, I don't want to get emotional right now, but over the past year, it's actually been a little challenging speaking out about inequity, social justice, issues that are considered controversial right now across the country has been very emotionally taxing. And I think Bobby spoke to this, and you're a lot more of a social media expert than I am with your large presence on Twitter. But about sometimes when people say, oh, just ignore. If people are trolling you or people saying stuff on social media, big deal. Like, who cares? And I would have said that a year ago. Like, okay, somebody said a weird comment to you, just ignore it. And for someone that loves social media, I was on MySpace and AOL, Instant Messenger. Like when it first came out, I had dial-up, and I used to just spend hours on social media. I've always been a consumer of social media, never been an influencer, never produced content until this situation happened where I felt like I had to start raising my voice and to get trolled every day. And you're not really trying to be controversial, quote unquote. You're just really trying to lend your voice to support and amplify issues that are important. It did start to take a toll on me. And I literally remember having a conversation with Future the day before Bobby reached out and asked me about hosting a room on the Clubhouse. And I was just like, you know, maybe I just don't need to be on LinkedIn anymore. LinkedIn is just becoming too toxic. It's almost worse than Twitter and Facebook, the entitlement of people that feel that they should be able to silence your voice and tell you what you can and cannot post. Even something like Black Girl Magic somehow becomes controversial. If you're celebrating Simone Biles or something, people feel as though they have to have input on your voice. And I wanted to actually also just co-sign what Juliana said. I had been in Clubhouse rooms where the stage and the atmosphere became where people would hop on and the mod wouldn't have control. And I felt like I was getting attacked and people just weren't able to really contain that and to be welcomed. I think Future said, I said, Bobby just reached out to me. Isn't that creepy? And not creepy in a bad sense, but creepy that we had just been talking about it like literally 24 hours before. And she was like, that is weird. She was like, see, the universe brought you what you needed. And I literally have been talking about, you know, I need more support. I need people to really help me to feel as though I'm enclosed in an envelope of protection from everything that's happening around me on social media. And literally, it was as if the heavens opened up. I don't want to sound creepy myself, but it was as if the heavens opened up and Bobby just reached out and said, hey, I'm here to support. Wow, exactly. I'm here to support. What can I do to help you? And would you like to mod a room? And it was like, literally like, this is what I was looking for. And I just wanted to thank you again. I know that it's becoming a little bit like, Bobby's like, enough people, but thank you for creating this. It's actually given me a little bit more of a pep in my step and made me feel supported, given me something where I feel like, wow, this is actually somewhere where I can learn and grow and have people that genuinely want to help you get to the next level. I feel like Clubhouse is another area where I can explore and talk about these issues that are so important and near and dear to me and reach people that need to hear about them, but also have the support mechanism to be able to do so. And I think the importance of community, both on LinkedIn and also extending that to Clubhouse, can't be understated. And I appreciate this because it's really been something that has helped me just to feel a little extra push now as we go into this next year and continue this fight for social justice, awareness, equity, just helping people to find their voices, authenticity. And that's what this club, I think, really represents, that thought leadership and being able to spread the message of whatever you can to help people to grow. So thank you for that.
And I just want to say, Liz, that, I really appreciate that. It's been a hard year. If you go from a year ago to George Floyd, stuff going on. I don't want to talk about this, but I talk about how I joined Clubhouse on Christmas Eve. What I don't talk about, and I haven't told people, is what a little place I was in at that point. My entire business, my two businesses had completely devastated. My speaker business completely collapsed in all of 2020, and I lost 90% of my income. My other startup, DYPB, also was tanking, and we had a loan, and it was just really bad. And I was lonely. I'm a flaming extrovert, and I was lonely, and I missed my friends, and I was in lockdown. I was frustrated with what was going on. And then, of course, all the racial injustice stuff was really starting to get to me from everything from George Floyd situation to my own dealing with how my kids deal with racial tensions in Canada, and the whole election in the U.S. too was there was just a lot of divisiveness. It was hard. I'm sad that you're having a lot of divisiveness on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn's actually one of the better places. Twitter's the worst, but I'm still there because I'm engaging, and Facebook is also kind of toxic, and I've lost a lot of friends over the last year. But yeah, I was in a really dark place, and Clubhouse really helped me because it brought me community. It gave me a place for me to talk to people and not be so lonely anymore. And then eventually I was able to monetize it within 2-3 months. Like by February, I was able to, people came to my stuff and started hiring me for things. And I thought that was really, really amazing. So Clubhouse really, and now Clubhouse is really one of the two things I'm investing in. I'm investing in growing Clubhouse, and I'm investing in my thought leadership writing stuff and the 5-day challenge that I'm doing. And yeah,
hey, don't forget you ended up doing the first, LinkedIn branded webinar in the middle of
for sure. Yeah. So, I mean,
that was major.
It was. I mean, so for me, like, all of this has been a very, very important journey. And, I'm mindful today's the eve of Canada Day. And, we just found out today that, first off, Bill Cosby got out of jail. I don't know how the hell that happened. But secondly, they found more Indigenous children in residential schools, another 175 children. And like, it's just really, Canada, what are we gonna do for Canada Day tomorrow? Like, I don't even know. Our plan is we're gonna be doing a walk with Indigenous people for the children. We're trying to wear orange t-shirts, and we're gonna reflect and reconcile where our country is and where we came from and what we need to do to get better. And that's what we're doing at Canada Day tomorrow. And I'm mindful of that, and that's where I'm at, because that stuff's really hard. It's really weighing on me heavier now in the last 5 years, particularly with my young kids and what's been going on. And I think of those things, and now thanks to Liz, I'm commenting more on politics and social justice. We're hosting more rooms in this, and I think we have to have more rooms where we talk about this stuff more often, because there's so many people that need to understand what people are going through. I love the rooms where we just invite people to share their story. That's it. Just share a story. Let's talk. Let's listen.
That's true.
I think those rooms are amazing, and you can host those rooms. You can host Q&A rooms. You can host whatever rooms you want. But yeah, it's been really, really powerful. And so, I'm trying to get verklempt here, and but let's talk about this. But yeah, sometimes maybe I just need a room where we could just go and just like, because it's been also stressful with my kids at home. Like, we've had a lot of battles, and having my daughter really, really get mad at me, and I'm like, am I a bad parent? Like, there's just so much, and it piles on, and I don't want to get into it too much. But I'm just telling you, like, Clubhouse has been helpful. This community has been amazing. And so, that's something that's really, really important. And with that, I do want to invite Brenda Meller, because everyone else has introduced themselves, Brenda, and they've shared a bit about why they like Clubhouse and then the Knowledge Brand Club, and also sharing a bit about their expertise so we can promote them. So Brenda, why don't you go ahead and share something?
Well, I was just trying to subtly come into the meeting and just sit in the background and not be an active participant. What do I like about Clubhouse? I've gotten to know you a lot better, Bobby. I mean, you brought me into the community, and working with all the other mods, I've gotten to know a lot of other people better. And I think I told you I got my first piece of business from Clubhouse from your shout out. This person never knew me. I've never had a conversation with them. They booked a session with me from that. So yeah, just keep on doing what you're doing, Bobby, and happy to support you and happy to be a part of this community. Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda. Appreciate it. Yeah, so with that, again, the reason why we're doing this is because it's a launch party for our new thoughtleadershipbranding.club website. We want you to apply to be a speaker, to host your own rooms on a weekly basis, just like these other people. You get to join this group of community of these people. You get asked to training, coaching calls, a weekly coaching call, resources. There's gonna be featured trainings. We want to build a diversity of this group, of this club. And there's some really amazing people here. They've built a really incredible culture of inclusivity, collaboration, support, love, empathy, things that I really love about it. And even if you go on Clubhouse and you look at the club rules, I came up with the guidelines for what, because when you open a club, you have to say, what are the rules of the club? They always want you to know, they always want you to say, what are the rules of the club? So I had to come up with what I thought, and I thought about it on the spot. What kind of club do I want to run? And so I came up with 3 things. Number 1, bring value in every interaction, connect and create community, and lead with heart. That's what I talk about. And that's what all these people here are doing. And they do such a great job. So, with that, I mean, if anybody wants to share any other thoughts or highlights or some other thing that we've not talked about, you're more than welcome to share something.
Just that we love you and you're awesome.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Pat. Heather, go ahead. You want to say something?
I was just gonna say more of like a call to action for everyone watching the live stream, either live or later. How can people find out more? They're just going to the website, right? If they have any questions, there's also a contact on the website for questions. Just want to make sure everyone knows what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't, make sure you've looked at everything on the website before you submit the form, though, because a lot of the stuff's there. There's an FAQ section as well. So make sure you read all that stuff before you submit questions, but you totally can as well. Tim, you're unmiked. You're gonna say something? Or are you just totally unmiked?
Oh, no.
That's fine.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Just glad to be a part of this community.
Okay. Juliana? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Juliana. Anything else you want to say, Juliana?
I was still in. Well, I guess I was left unmiked. I'll say
because you were at the beginning. Like you were at the beginning. Like you are. I met Juliana in a room. And they were like, hey, we should collaborate. And she'd been there, she knew more about it. And I was like, well, why don't you help me start up? And then we started LinkedIn Mastery. So Juliana was the one who worked with me, and that's how everything started.
Listen, I'll tell this story better than he will, because it was actually really pretty funny and really silly. I got on the Clubhouse for much of the same reason Bobby did, and was feeling all kinds of different ways during the pandemic. Clubhouse reconnected me with some friends that I hadn't seen during the pandemic, and you made some new ones, pretty quickly. I had a pretty good sense of how the platform worked, and was just off on my little Clubhouse life. And because I've worked in television, film, and digital before, I have some natural reporter type transferable skills that allow me to be a pretty good mod, but more so to support other moderators and help to. Nobody can run a room like me, period. I make sure everything feels like it's supposed to feel, and I support people. People that see me in a room, they know that. And Bobby, I had just been thinking to myself, man, I really need to get my LinkedIn life together. I want to do more on LinkedIn. I'm not quite sure how to approach it. What am I going to do? Kind of like what Liz was saying. It was like really strange that the next thing I know, I see Bobby Umar's name and LinkedIn whatever in a title. I knew who he was, and I hopped in there. I was like, well, dang, if you want to learn more about LinkedIn, this is definitely the guy. Hi, Bobby. Hey, so where's the such and such? I'm like, oh, this is your first day. Oh, cool. So I just started showing them around the platform. But Bobby Umar is the type of person where it's not like you need to show him how to run a room or how to build a community. He just needed to know where a few buttons were, and I helped support in the background along the way. And so just for that opportunity, I would say, if you really want to learn more about something, or if you want to be part of community, don't be afraid to say hello to people, because a lot of times the folks that have the biggest audiences and stuff like that, they're not as untouchable as you think. And Bobby's been so generous to me and everyone who's come along and just wanted to make a contribution, post their first piece of content. I'm still struggling with, my own personal identity to a point, because I'm so used to doing it on a scale for enterprise. I'm used to doing it for other people. So just come along my imposter journey syndrome with me, and we'll all just get better together, doing this, having fun under what Bobby's created. And it's been my pleasure to support him and all of you.
Thank you very much. And again, I think that, let me just say, I'll end by talking a bit about myself. So, I did promote what I do, but I've been a professional speaker for 15 years. And when COVID hit, I had to pivot. And I pivoted to doing coaching and programs. So I have an online program for personal branding. I have an online program for speaking. I have an online program for TEDx Talks. I have an online program for now Clubhouse as well, and thought leadership building. I do a 5-day challenge, and I coach people through programs and that type of stuff. But I also am a speaker trainer, virtual trainer. I do LinkedIn training. I do digital marketing, digital presence, building meaningful relationships, how to build a thought leadership brand, how to do personal branding, all that kind of stuff. That's what I talk about. And or I do things like PowerPoint presentations. I mean, I do a broad range of things, but I need to really niche it. But I've been speaking for so long. I have so many different topics, but really they're about connection. So personal brand, connection with yourself, networking and building relationships, connection with others, digital marketing influence, connection with the world. That's what I do. That's what I talk about. So
hey, speaking of what he does, if you join TLB because you want to be a moderator, you actually get to get in on a call in which Bobby pours into all the moderators and everything. So when is the next one's coming up? On Friday, I think?
Yeah, so we do our weekly calls for the lead moderators who have signed up and applied and signed up, like all these people here, every Friday at 4:30, but it's recorded. And if you can't get access to it, you can be sent the recording, and everyone gets access to a WhatsApp group where also people can share, collaborate, ask questions, get support that they need. So again, those are some of the benefits of being part of the community. So we encourage you, if you're watching this video, to go and apply to be a club member, to be part of the Lead Moderator group, to be a sponsor, and to just get involved and be part of this great community and follow these amazing people, support them, and do business with everybody. So I think with that, I think we'll end it. I want to thank you all for your time who've been on the broadcast, for those who've been here from the very beginning to who stuck to the very end of this long, amazing live stream, this launch party. And if you have any questions, comment in the box below, tag us. If you have questions about Clubhouse or our rooms, what we're doing or what we talked about, or expertise, yeah, we'd love to hear from you. All right, so with that, so long, everybody. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're gonna end. Bye.